All right, here you go, 21.1. I don't know if this is backwards or not, but deal with it. Okay, so let's talk about prepping for this event first. All right, so number one, food, carbs and protein heavy. All right, so and this is assuming that you're going to do this workout later in the day, like 3 p.m. or later. Okay, so if that's the case, then you're going to go heavy carbs and moderate protein. Try to get a decent amount of your carbs and protein in for the day early, right? So if say you're gonna do this, I did it at 4:30, so I cut off food at about 3 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock, right in that range, right? But I went really light with fats. So I'm about, I'm really heavy with fats right now, so I probably did about 30 or 40 grams of fat today, and then I cut it off. I'm usually about 100 grams at about 4:30 in the day. So really light on fats, all things considered. Heavy carbs, and then I'm about 100 grams heavier on carbs now than I was yesterday total. So anyway, puts it in kind of perspective. All right, and then you want to stay relatively fasted for this event. All right, so I would say like 2.5, 3 hours. Don't get any real nutrition in. You should have it in prior to that, right? Make sure you're staying hydrated, and this is for like a solid 2 days prior to the event. So if you're trying to hydrate day of and do it today, you're behind the 8 ball, like impossible. So if you're dehydrated right now, think how do I do this again later in the week and get hydrated. So make sure that you're getting like a gallon of water in a day, roughly, maybe a little bit less. That'd probably be fine as long as you're getting enough salt, right? Salt. Huge factor that a lot of CrossFitters especially don't understand. We need to get more sodium in than we're getting. The amount of sodium that you get rid of every day is beyond what you even recognize. So make sure that your sodium intake is up. Every time you have some water, you should be putting salt in that, maybe half a teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon, depending on how much water. And then just about 90 minutes out, do about 25 grams of carbs. Okay. So I did glucose tabs today, and it worked really, really well because it kept me in a more fasted state. The issue with being fasted is that you are going to have your blood in your circulation going to your muscular system, and the organs that you need to work, right? Your respiratory system, your circulatory system, those things aren't going to be bogged down by digestion, right? So you want to keep that digestive tract relatively empty in order to optimize that your systems your body systems are working optimally for what you need to do, which is kick ass on this workout. So there's your nutrition for prepping for day of. Okay, now let's talk about performance. Get your respiratory system primed. So as soon as you get in the gym, you should be doing 5 minutes light cardio, right? Gear 1, nasal breathing only. Nice and smooth, 5 to 7 minutes of that. Get your general warm up, right? Elevate your body temperature, all that good stuff that you know how to do, but 5 minutes in gear 1. Then stay right on your bike, rower, ski, erg, whatever you're doing, and then go 5 rounds of 30 seconds hard, 30 seconds easy. And as you go with this, don't go 100% hard on round 1. You're starting at like a 6 out of 10, right? So you're starting nasal breathing. And then on the easy portions, nasal breathing only. And if you want to close one nostril like some yoga style, that's going to add some restricted breathing into it, and that's going to help your respiratory system open up, right? So you're going to build up. So by round 5, you're going pretty hard for 30 seconds, like an 8 out of 10, and then you go 30 seconds easy, you calm down, and then you hop off. So then you did about 10 to 12 minutes on the bike, just getting your respiratory system primed and ready to go, moving through the gears, gear 1, nasal breathing only, all the way up through gear 5, right? And that's, if you're looking for an explanation on the gear stuff, check Power Speed Endurance. We talk a lot about the gears here at Aphorist and at Heroic as well online. So all information that's out there, right? Basically, you are ramping up step by step by step by step, and not just trying to jump right into a Metcon where you're going to have to go from 0 to 1,000,000 miles an hour, right? All right. So after you're done prepping your respiratory system, then you are going to work stabilization. It's not as critical on this event to do any type of like shoulder distraction, mobility, soft tissue work. You don't need any of that. Actually, the soft tissue work could actually hurt you on this one. You are looking for maximum stabilization in your core and in your shoulders. And I'll show some videos of what stable core and shoulders looks like and what unstable core and shoulders looks like. So stuff that we're looking at here are Turkish get-ups, leg lifts with hollow holds, and banded pull-aparts, anything that's gonna get your scaps active, moving, stable, you know, that kind of stuff. You could do some waiter's walks, some bottoms up holds like that. That's all gonna stabilize your shoulders. Those are all good things to do. Pick a couple of things and put them together, 3 rounds, 5 rounds. It's not hard to figure this stuff out, guys. I hate to break it to you, but anyway, all right. So that's your warm up. And then also, lastly for that, make sure you're stretching your calves a little bit. You can mobilize your calves on this one because it is a lot of double unders, especially if you're gonna get deep into the rounds, you're gonna have to go unbroken. And your calves are gonna take a pounding on this one. So you could do some rolling on those. I wouldn't do a ton. You can do some different calf stretches, some different like, you know, down dogs, 3-leg dog, that kind of stuff, and that will open up the back of the Achilles. The Achilles is the big thing on this one that you're going to want to make sure is active and ready to go, so you don't damage yourself, right? All right, so everybody's favorite. Now let's talk strategy. This is not all right. So there's going to be 2 different types of athletes on this one. If you're basically over 200 pounds for guys, then this is gonna slow you down. So this is not gonna be your go-to workout if you're over 200 pounds. If you're heavier, 200, let's say 180 even or higher, this is gonna be like a gear 4 work where you're gonna be able to nasal breathe in and exhale out, and you're not gonna have that Fran sprint. You're not gonna have it. The wall walks are going to slow you down too much unless you're an epic gymnast. All right. So make sure that with those wall walks, when you step up onto the wall, you're taking a big bite with your legs and then a big step back with your hands on that first initiation off of the tape. Okay. So big step back, boom, to match your legs, and then scramble to hit that tape, and then take care to not no rep on the way back down. If you're 200 pounds roughly and you get no rep on this workout, it's going to be devastating mentally more than anything else. So don't be that guy. All right. And then once you get to the double unders, so the wall walks, you just got to slug through. Okay. Slug through them nice and smooth, stay calm, keep moving, right? Don't sprint through them. You don't have to. That's going to fry out. Because when you go to the double unders, you're going to have to make up time and you're going to have to go unbroken. So if you don't have that skill set and you can't do a whole lot of them unbroken, you're just going to have to do your best and chunk it up. Don't fail, right? That's the biggest thing with this is you never want to hit a point of failure, right? If you do and you hit that point too early, you're going to be done. All right, so don't do that. Okay, if you're a little lighter, if you're under 200 pounds, then you can scramble up that wall a little bit quicker. Still going to be the same rough ideas, but you can scramble up the wall a little quicker. You might be able to break those double unders, so it'll be kind of like a backwards type strategy on that. Okay. All right. So let's talk about recovery. So immediately post-workout, you want to go 2-to-1 carbs or protein. So get some good carbs in, some highly branched cyclic dextrin, your protein powder, mix them up, slug it down. Just get that in your system right away. 10 minutes, gear 1, nasal breathing. There we go. 10 minutes, gear 1, nasal breathing. All right. So just work some of that crap out. And then you can do some heavy calf smashing. You can do some foam rolling. You can do some stuff like that, some body tempering on your calves. Again, your calves are going to take the primary bulk of the abuse on this workout. And then you can just hit some shoulder distraction if you want, because you get a whole lot of blood flow to that anterior shoulder, the tricep, all that kind of stuff. And then tons of water. You're going to sweat your butt off on this one, regardless of how fast you go. So get tons of water, tons of salt. And then this is one, honestly, that I looked at and I said, this is going to be a one and done for a lot of people because of the abuse on the calves. If you take a good prep, then I think this is honestly something that you can get through and redo in a couple of days. I don't feel super taxed right now from like a central nervous system standpoint. I don't feel super beat up. But hey, you know, that kind of depends on your training and what you've been doing the past several months. If you've done more Thunder Bro, if you've done more of Marcus Filly's the bodybuilding style stuff, or maybe you've done a little bit more isolation work, then this one's going to be a little bit easier for you to navigate, because you're going to have a better way to navigate that localized muscle fatigue versus like traditional, you know, functional body or functional CrossFit movements, where you're not doing a whole lot of that isolation work. And what can happen is you run into localized muscle fatigue. Okay, so that just means your shoulders are going to crap out before the rest of you, as where, you know, like a squat movement, it's going to be a lot more multi-joint compound movements, that kind of stuff. But this is where, man, you're going to do a lot better if you've been doing lateral raises, front raises, shrugs, some more bodybuilding style work. So anyway, I thought it was a really cool way they kind of set it up. And it was a really interesting workout, even though it didn't have any weights. Yeah, I was pretty pumped getting through it. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you think this is good or if you think this is full of shit. So good luck. Get after it. Later.